What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN USD. Yes, we are. It is the 4th day of January, and here we are sitting at about $0.0049 with roughly 7 hours and 42 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to make, if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. Let's get into it. So, I think it's clear, right, at this point, just using our eyeballs to identify what's going on here. We are kind of rounding out this bottom a little bit, are we not? We are rounding it out just a little bit. You can see the rounding of it here, right? Now here we were coming down, we rounded out a little bit at the bottom there. It wasn't as developed. Like this is much larger, much more rounded out, much more proper. It's not as tenacious to the downside. And even here with this little rounding, we had a nice little pump. Nice little pump. Little and nice is probably the right word. I mean, from a low to a high, we pumped 30% overall. It wasn't, or maybe a little bit more than that. 33% overall. Wasn't that stupendous? Here and there, I mean, maybe I should start with this. Here, the low we had was kind of grinded out. We had a higher low here, relatively speaking, but it wasn't really anywhere that we could really depend on for support. It wasn't at any key fib levels or anything like that. It was kind of in the land of the rising sun back here, and we expected that to hold us as support. It didn't. Here, however, it's completely different. Here, we are at monumentous areas of prior resistance. Okay, prior resistance here, all throughout this range. We're finding support directly in that range right there. Here, from a low to the high of this move, we are at the golden ratio retracement zone, right? 618, 69, this is a golden ratio retracement zone, bouncing, double bottoming off of that. Here we have bullish divergence on our RSI. We're bouncing off the oversold zone. The MACD has been beat up for a very long time. We're looking like we want to cross above the zero. And here, XCN BTC, actually I forgot, on the weekly time frame we have bullish divergence on our MACD, very severe bullish divergence on our MACD. We have bullish divergence on our weekly stochastics. On the XCN BTC pair, we are also, wow, I didn't know that all this was pulled up here. Hold on, let me delete this. Let me just delete it all. Here we are also finding support at prior resistance versus Bitcoin. Here we are also, from our all-time low to our high, finding support at the golden ratio zone. Here we also have, on a weekly time frame, bullish divergence on our MACD, right? Oops, very intense bullish divergence on the MACD. It's beautiful. We're about to get the cross. We're about to get it. We weren't anywhere near the cross back at that last low area. We've got a double bottom in the RSI. We've got technically still some bullish divergence on the stochastics, so it could get given up if we go lower. I mean, here we were only moving down for like 6 weeks. Here, this is our 13th week. We've moved down for like 13 weeks in a row to the downside. We're on our 14th week now. It just seems abundantly clear that we're at a very pivotal opportunity for OnyxCoin, right? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but anybody who buys below 5 cents, you're going to be remembered as a freaking hero in the weeks and months to come. Your portfolio will thank you. Your grandchildren will thank you. Their grandchildren will thank you, because this is about to go ballistic. And I don't know what's wrong with my voice. Hold on. There we go. That's a little bit better. That sounds much better, actually. There we go. I don't believe that we're just going to teleport to new all-time highs overnight like we did here. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. It could. We're beating up more than the average crypto by far, but we still, I mean, still from tremendous gains from the lows. But still, I don't think that we're just going to rip like this. Remember, this move here happened after a very long phase of consolidation. And then once that consolidation broke, we moved up at a very good pace. This was great price action. We evaporated what was like from March 2024 until October 2024. Let's just say to the low, March to August. 5 months. We evaporated 5 months of price action with basically 5 weeks of price action. It was stupendous. That was great. But it was nothing compared to this. However, we did load up beforehand. We consolidated. We checked back all aboard, and then we rallied. So we might see something similar. Here, I'm assuming that we get some type of V-shaped recovery. I do assume that the path to 2 cents will be rather immediate. It's going to be fast. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if the end of February came along and we're above 2 cents. I would be surprised if it was the end of February and we were above here, though. Right? End of March, maybe we get up there. Maybe it's sometime in April. But I do assume that when we break out, when we do see this recovery happening, it'll be fast. What took months from July until basically this week to resolve itself, from July of 2025 for half a year, we're going to absolve that in a month and a half, right? Like by the end of January or February, we should be somewhere around here. That's my expectation. Maybe we consolidate, and then going into March, April, we really start to rally. Q2, if not late Q1, should be when we're above this high. And I don't know about you guys, but just thinking about this, painting this picture as a whole, how many people have written XCN off? How many people have just written it off? I talk to people, I literally talk to people in person about XCN. People, I don't know how to phrase this. I don't want to phrase this in a way that will get me in trouble. Not in any legal trouble. I don't want people to know details about my life. I've just talked to people in person who watch my videos. Several people, not family members, not friends, random people who've identified me, who've found me just walking. I've gotten noticed. I only have 50,000 subscribers, but I've gotten noticed a couple times. But I don't want to go into too much more than that because, again, I don't want to give away personal information. But there's just been moments in public where I have been noticed. And in these moments, people will talk about XCN. And they all kind of look at me the same. Like they appreciate me. They're grateful to meet me. They're grateful to talk about crypto. It's nice, right? We have that moment. We bond a little bit. But whenever XCN comes up, they look at me like, yeah, I don't know, right? How many people are like that right now with XCN? Is my thought. How many people are looking at this like, yeah, I don't know, man. I bought over here. I bought over here. Even people who bought over here and below where we are now, tremendously lower. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's the attitude. What's the attitude going to be? What's the perspective going to be when we're up here? At that point, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, I would assume the perspective shifts dramatically, just like it did back here. Unfortunately, that perspective shift did not amount to much, but that's not OnyxCoin's fault. Altcoins and Bitcoin and everything continued to go down basically from August and afterwards, right? This time we're getting set up for an altcoin rally and a surge throughout the space as a whole. I would assume with this perspective shift, people are going to start getting on board with the idea that we will see new highs. If we're going to see new highs, right here, right now, it's kind of hard. You talk to people in public and they're like, yeah, okay, all right, I like you, man, but XCN, I don't know. Only reason I'm invested in it is because you seem to have faith in it, which that's nice. I appreciate that, but you should be investing in OnyxCoin more than just my faith alone. You should have your own faith. If you don't have faith in something, you probably shouldn't invest in it. I don't know. There's that contrarian in me thinks if you have no faith in something, maybe that is something you should invest in. Like you pick 10 projects, the one that you're least likely to invest in, put all your chips in that, it'll probably outperform everything. That's typically how it is. Don't take that to heart. Don't take that serious. I mean, take it somewhat seriously. There are several very successful investors, Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, for example. Charlie Munger said at one point the best investment he ever made was the one that he was confident would lose. And that's why he invested in it, was because he was confident that it would go down. He just did it as like an experiment, and it performed phenomenally. And there's tons of investors that have the same contrarian state of mind. Because again, think about it. How many people, whenever something's euphoric and bullish and everybody's certain it's going to continue to grow, how many times do we see that backfire and everything goes down, right? Crypto was that thing, was supposed to grow. Everybody was supposed to make money in crypto, and that backfired. Stocks, gold, real estate, everything, commodities went up in value except for crypto, right? Now people are bearish on crypto. Now, out of all the opportunities to invest in the world, crypto's probably the lowest on the totem pole. That tells you something, right? You should probably get into that. All I'm saying here is that the perspective is, I like you, but I don't know if I like this coin. I don't know. Maybe it goes. I hope it goes well for you, but I'm going to stay away. That's the perspective. The perspective here is going to be, oh my God, this guy's not crazy. Okay, there's actually something to this. What if everything he was saying about buy the dip was actually true, and now we're about to miss out on this run that's going to go up to 20, 30 cents, whatever it might be. We take out this, the perspective shifts. breaking above this high right now might seem like something that people doubt, but here it'll be something people are more relying on, more making bets on, more open to. We take the high, we take the low. If you take out this high, the minimum, the small, absolutely lowest target that we could come up with is right there at the 1272. The maximum target is at 22.8 cents. And I don't think this is where the cycle ends. I just think this is where our next move happens. We consolidate, right? Here it is. Boom, it's July. And then, maybe end of the year. Then we start to rally. That's our end of cycle finale. We'll have an overall 1, 2, 3. No. I'm sorry. We were still in this consolidation phase. So that doesn't count, actually. That's 1 impulsive wave, 2 corrective wave, 3, 4, 5. We're probably in a 5-legged pattern. Probably. And I do believe OnyxCoin will be worth $1.16 or more by the end of this cycle, by the end of 2026. I do believe it'll be worth more than $1. But we're getting way ahead of ourselves. We have a lot of proving to do. We have to get above 2 cents first. From here, the minimum target, when we do see new highs, is anything from about 10 cents psychological resistance. It's a 19x from here to about a 46x from here. And I don't know where we're going to stop. I could see us stopping at 10 cents. That's the all-time highs on Coinbase. I could see us stopping at 14 cents, 18 cents. That's our all-time highs on the chart altogether. We just don't have the history, but there is a high that's like up here. It's like right there, something like that. Like that's how the chart actually looks. But something in this area is likely where we're going to stop next, and I would assume that we get there before the end of Q2. I don't know when we will be there exactly. It could be the very ass end of March, and here we are at 10 cents. And maybe pushing into April, maybe we push higher. It could be the ass end of May, and we're here, and we're pushing into June, and we're going higher. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I do assume by the latest, the end of Q2, probably mid of Q2, we would be in this area here. Most of Q1 is going to be eating back this here, getting set up for the next move, and then I think most of Q2 is going to be moving, expanding up to this level. There will be a stop in between somewhere, maybe at the golden ratio. The golden ratio makes a lot of sense, because if you look at this golden ratio, it's right here at prior areas of resistance. Consistent resistance right there. We had resistance right here, which is just barely below that golden ratio there. A lot of points of resistance and significance in this chart. It's short history. It makes sense that we might move up here by the end of February. Maybe it's the middle of February. Maybe it's early February, because again, when this move happens, I do expect that we're going to move up fast. We have all this divergence. We have all this pent-up aggression built inside of us. We've been in a downtrend for so long. I do think that we're going to get a snap up to these levels. It's going to look just like this. Maybe it happens instead of 3 or 4 days like this one did, maybe it happens in 3 or 4 weeks. However it happens, so I think it'll be fast. We will move up to this area. Then we likely consolidate. And then maybe April comes around, Q2 comes around. That's whenever we start. And it really could be May or June that we are up in this area of 10 cents to 23 cents. But again, at a minimum, that's a 19.5x. At a maximum, that's a 46.5x. Can you wait a quarter or two for that? I can. I hope you can too. I don't know, man. I don't really have anything else to say. I'm very excited to see OnyxCoin recovering here. It certainly does promote the idea of this bottom being something more reliable. It makes a lot of sense. We've got it kind of rounding off here. It is starting to round off. You can see it. You got this double bottom shape. You broke out of this area right here. You broke out to the downside. No volume at all. You broke out here. You broke out and saw lower lows. No volume at all. There's no interest at all. And look at the absolute absence of volume we have here. We have no volume today. We have had no volume over the past 4 days, and we've just moved up tremendously. The theory that I have, and I've been saying it for months, okay? I've been saying it since here. I hope that I'm right this time about it, right? There are no more sellers. And I still think there was a minimal amount of sellers back here. I think really we had some panic sellers as we went down, and that wasn't because of OnyxCoin. They might have thought it was because of OnyxCoin, but it's probably because of the whole crypto markets. From October 10th and onwards, the market's just been a shit show. And I think there's a lot of panic selling on that. It wasn't about OnyxCoin specifically. Everything went down here, right? Everything went down from October 10th and beyond. Everything went down. I really do believe that we have an absence of sellers, complete absence, a lack of any kind of trading volume at all. When there's no more sellers, there's only buyers left. You have an easy time moving up. You don't need a lot of volume to move up. And look at what we're doing here. Not a lot of volume. We're just eating this all back. I would love it if this was more persistent, if it was something that we could count on. Nothing is truly exciting from price action at all. Nothing is truly exciting for OnyxCoin at all until we get below this low or above this high. Until then, we're in the same range that we've been in since November. And it's not really that exciting. It's kind of depressing and boring, but we are rounding out our bottom. We do have bullish divergence. We do have a positive outlook on the daily RSI, on the daily stochastics, and the daily MACD. What's positive about it? Look at the reaction you're having here. You're bouncing, your blue line's bouncing off the orange line. You're getting false red crosses. You're building bullish momentum. You look like you want to pierce through the zero. All good things. These stochastics are getting overbought. You haven't been overbought. Shit, dude. Your blue hasn't been up this high since July. All good things. Your RSI is bouncing off the oversolds and rejecting it for the 1, 2, 3, 4, however many times now in a row, at least 2, double bottom there. You're looking poised and postured to go to the overbought zone, all good things. This move is nice, but the quote-unquote exciting stuff doesn't happen until we take out one of these levels, right? To the upside or to the downside. And with the way we're postured, I would assume it's to the upside. With the way we're postured, when we get over bottom the RSI, when we cross above the zero here, that should directly correlate with the move that does take us above $007. And that right there should kick things off to send us up to prices that are anywhere from about 1.1 to 1.4 cents, this area of resistance up here. If I'm wrong, I'm only wrong because this move is more bullish than I'm assuming it to be. Maybe we do rally all the way up to 2 cents. Maybe we go higher. But I don't think it's going to be that easy. It hasn't been easy thus far. It's not just going to flip easy all of a sudden right now. But we have 7 hours, 26 minutes left in this week. That is a hell of a reversal candle. We haven't seen a week like this in 13 weeks, guys. We had literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is our 13th week. 13 weeks to find our low. 13 weeks in a row we were moving down. And on this week we find our low, and now we're going to move up. I think that's what's happening. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.